Hi everybody, let's do a video on 7-star Apocalypse. We have got, as members of the CTP, early access to some of the champions that are going to be appearing in Heart of Fire. Because these champions are going to be appearing in Heart of Fire, a lot of you might be spending a lot of money. And it's important that if you are investing this high amount of money, that you're getting what you consider to be a return. So you have to make a decision on which of these champions, if you get selected, if you don't get selected, if you get lucky, but of course if you invested a lot of money, then are they going to feel like they've been worth the effort and the amount of units that have been invested into it? I'm going to be doing hopefully a video on Nick Fury and if I get time future Ant-Man, but I'll see what I can do. But one of the ones that I wanted to make a video on was definitely Apocalypse. Apocalypse has only been available as a 6-star, now as a 7-star. In terms of a stat focus, I do think the champion is going to be more frustrating in defense with the block penetration, the kind of pierce stat focus. But you could opt for maybe energy resistance as a defensive element, but I don't think that's really it. From an attacker's stat focus perspective, I was really torn with what was the best one to have. You can see most of the footage, all of the footage being recorded will feature the special damage prowess one, the plus 8% on special damage because the champion rotates around specials in maximizing damage output and crits. I guess I could go for crit rating, but it kind of felt like a bit like special damage is probably the way to go with it. The champion interests me a lot, and the regeneration ability that the champion has off the signature is still a debatable one if it's actually of value. Look, if you don't awaken his champion, he's still good unawakened, but it depends on what you want to use him for. A lot of people over the years have opted to exchange the genetic code that the champion gets into being his genetic code into Horsemen of Apocalypse. So what you'd be doing is you'd be making one mutant really, well, not really stronger, a little bit stronger. This is why you can add in things like indefinite prowess, which you can see to improve attack damage of 50%. Really handy for Cyclops, which I forgot to add in yesterday's footage, but I was going to do that. I'll probably do a separate video maybe because I wanted to follow a few things on the narrative. There's also like a few other important things. Being a Horseman of the Apocalypse, you can increase and improve with other champions, other mutant champions. It depends on mastery setup. I very much opt for, we'll talk about synergies in a second. Mastery opt out, I go for a suicide mastery, so the liquid courage double edge mastery. But it's not advisable. It's advisable if you want to see some big yellow numbers. We're going to see that in the footage in a second. But it's not advisable if you're looking to get some damage off the back of every time you throw a special attack. And it's like going from an SP2, which I normally do, an SP2, and then go SP1. SP2 to get double the amount of... SP2 to get the debuffs. And the more debuffs you get off the SP2 and then to the SP1, you're able to do more damage as a result. And yeah, it's like just a lot of nice damage, which you can see. I think it's here. Each hit inflicts a burst of X amount of physical damage for each personal weakness, poison, concussion, or degeneration on the opponent. So if you establish those debuffs and damaging debuffs, and you throw the special attack, then it's better. It's a lot better. Heavy attack in order to refresh said weakness, poison, concussion, and degeneration effects on opponent. And throwing an SP3 will mean that they'll turn into permanent ones, which puts you under less pressure on your rotation of heavy attacks. So I like the champion a lot, and definitely a lot of fun. I think as well it's going to be a very annoying and resurgent defender unless you got the right tech-based counters for this guy. But a lot of people seem to only use the champion as this Horseman of the Apocalypse type element. And final thing before we see some footage is that I do like to have a few synergies. One synergy I think is the most important one, and it's either you've got Mr. Sinister or Cable. A lot of people opt for Cable, especially with how the synergy works with having Cable do the incinerate debuffs now inflict as degens. It's nicer damage. And then Mr. Sinister is amazing. So you could have Mr. Sinister on your team, and you could have Apocalypse and absolutely run wild. Run wild? I said run riot and combine them too. But yeah, I had a lot of fun playing these champions. Let's roll some footage, and I'll talk you through some processes with them. Okay, I got 3 pieces of footage. The first one is just a little 6-star playthrough. Why is this relevant, Rich? Well, it's important to see, like, in a moment, what the extent of damage changes are. With this one, this is a rank 4 6-star version, I think it is. It's not ascended, it's just straight up like in there. Of course, we've got the cable synergy in, and I'm going to opt for the same rotation, so we're going to go up to an SP2. Then, because you can see the concussion and degen are on, and yeah, like we're going to push for an SP1 as soon as you do the striker. Do a little bleed in order to refresh, and then SP1 kind of coming in on clutch there. And you can see boom, 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 boom. Good crits, 23 crits through that particular rotation. Very nice. But it's not, it's good, but it's not 7-star, okay? This is when we go into 7-star territory. Here's a 7-star. So the similar kind of footage again, but, you know, this is all about testing stuff out and the rotation. And same thing, going to build to an SP2 as quickly as possible. Really nice crit, 17k there right off the bat. And I'm hoping to see some good damage. I think we got, spoiler alert, 60Ks per time. We're already down to like 71% on Winter Soldier, so it is like you can see like the damage potential ramp up is severe. Just below, wow, okay, oh, 40k and hit for 60 and a SP2, another 60k at the end there. Very nice. That's why I like this champion a lot. And if we kind of like add that up, what was that, like 60 plus 60 plus 45, 45 plus the bursting. Yeah, so, you know, we're well over the 200k mark on an SP2, and I didn't even feel like I got the full rotation and ramp with it. Obviously, difference with Labyrinth of Legends, because you can't go over that 50k mark of crits, which is disappointing. I don't know if other people rotate differently with the champion. I personally enjoy what I personally enjoy. And if I was looking to use this champion, yeah, of course, I'd like to do. I just yeah, there's nothing more to really say. Like I re-recommend this champion. Evade suppression in Labyrinth, in Necropolis. I think I won't be able to have enough time to record any footage, but I played around in Necropolis with Apocalypse, and he wasn't too bad. There were certain champions I felt he was better against, especially lanes that have like evading based elements to them. But the downside is going, well, if you don't have Liquid Courage double-edged Masteries and the ramp up of attack elements of Masteries, then you're kind of like, well, are you going to see stuff that I'm throwing up on screen, the kind of 36k per tick, and many others as well. I don't know if other people will go like, well, it's damaging high, Rich, but it's not damaging as high as maybe I'd hope. And I don't know, you know, it's legitimate there. I couldn't get another, because the other type of debuff is a poison one. Of course, I can't get that on Miss Marvel because she's poison immune. But effectively, it would be doing as much, like, you know, a lot of damage in all. But that was great. So yes, 7-star Apocalypse. I was very impressed with the extra amount of crit damage you could see in comparison to, say, the 6-star version. And it was just nice to see that this champion was able to kind of like just take down, smash down enemies. What a rank 4 6-star version will do, I don't know. As a defender, a rank 3 7-star is probably going to be painful to anybody that face off against them in Battlegrounds in particular. So I'm not sure why Kabam actually ended up adding in 2, nearly 3, maybe even like a lot of very annoying Battlegrounds defenders, as well as relatively good offensive based champions. So Kabam knew what they were doing there, and I think a lot of people are going to be spending their money to add them to their roster and battle deck. But will you be going out of your way to go and grab them? Make sure to let me know in the comments, and also check out some other content located on screen. I'm looking forward to doing a lot of Heart of Fire based coverage tomorrow, so yes, look out for that content. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you soon. Bye.